Okay, so I've started my ADDC, my SQL Server, my App Server, my RDP server, and my Windows client machine. And now we want to go through and set up static IP addresses for each of these machines. And we're going to go ahead and make sure that we can ping between each of those. That's sort of our getting these things ready to set up our Active Directory. Okay, so I'm going to go in and we'll go to virtual machine and we'll send Control-Alt-Delete. And we'll log into this machine. Okay, so I'm going to now go to the SQL Server machine. We'll send our Control-Alt-Delete there. And we'll log in. App server, virtual machine, send Control-Alt-Delete. Yeah. Okay, so that puts all of our machines are running. So let's go back to our Windows 2016, our ADDC. Now, there's a couple ways of doing everything. You can do this, configure your local server, and we can go ahead and make changes. So this one here I want to call ADDC. I'm not going to change it, obviously, out of the work group yet. I will be doing that when we promote this one as a domain controller. I'm going to turn off Windows Firewall and turn it off on both of these things. And what's going to actually happen is we have to actually do this one more time, turning the firewall off, because when we actually do set it up on the domain, it's going to actually add another. We have private networks, public networks, and then we have the domain, and we need to have the domain opened up just a little bit later. Other things that we want to do, Ethernet 0, we actually need to change the IP address on this machine. So we're going to right click here, we're going to go to Properties. I'm going to turn off IPv6, and we're going to use the statically assigned IP address. For this particular project, I'm going to do 10.10.10.10 is the ADDC with a class C subnet mask, 24-bit subnet mask. And the way that VMware sets this up, it sets the default gateway as .2 now. I'm making the change here, and I'll pop back out to VMware and I'll show you what else has to be done on the Mac side for this to work. This is going to be our ADDC, and so normally what we do is for the DNS, we will point the DNS back to what's called the loopback address, and that's actually just the address of this machine. And then we will put the default gateway here as the alternate DNS server. So the ADDC is the only one that's going to have the loopback of the 127.0.0.1 address, and all other machines that are in the network are going to have 10.10.10.10, which will be the IP address of this particular machine. I'm going to close this. Probably going to kind of need to restart, but maybe it won't. Maybe we just have a delay going on here. Let's go back to properties and make sure that everything clicks there. Okay, so that should be okay. So that is our ADBC. And then for go here, this is our SQL Server. We're going to do yes on that. And we'll do configure this local server. Let's call the change the computer name here. We'll put here at server manager. Let's hop back over here to this one, and this is not changed to it. I'll just change the computer description, not the name. Rookie mistake. ABC. We'll do it through here. Close that and restart this. We'll move on to the app server. We'll do this, configure this local server. And let's do this in this particular order. Let's change the IP address. Go to properties. Turn off IPv6. Just click on properties here. Following address, PIN, 12 on this one, 55, 0, default gateway of PN.PN.PN.2. 10.10.10 for the preferred DNS server, and 10.10.10.2 for the alternate. We'll close that there. And turn off this firewall. And change the computer name to SQL-SDR. I just made a mistake on computer name. Here it comes on this one. I'm using the app server. So I'm going to have to shut that down and restart that. Sorry if that was confusing. Okay. Let's go back now to the actual one that should be SQL Server. And let's log in. So it is SQL Server. Let's do turn off while on this one. Change the IP address. Static assignment. Turn off IPv6. Copies in IPv4. .11 for this one, 255.255.255.0, default gateway of 10.10.10.2, 10.10.10.10 is preferred DNS server, 10.10.10.2 is the alternate. Close that, and I think this one probably should not need to be restarted just at the moment. Let's see here, we have RDP. We go to virtual machine and some Control-Alt-Delete. Log in as administrator. Oops. Let's use this one here again. We'll do configure this local server, and we're going to turn off the firewall. We are going to set the statically assignment IP address. IPv6, go to properties on IPv4. We're going to do 10.10.10.13 for this one. 255.255.255.0. Default gateway of 10.10.10.2. 10.10.10.10 for our preferred DNS, 10.10.10.2 as our alternate DNS. We'll do OK and close on that. And let's change our computer name to RDPSVR. And we'll do OK on that. And we're going to close and we're going to restart. And we're going to do the same thing basically for the Windows 10 machine, except we'll do sort of the other way of doing it here. We're going to go to right click here, go to Open Network and Sharing Center. We'll change adapter settings, and then on Ethernet 0 we're going to go to Properties. We'll turn off IPv6, we'll go to IPv4, we'll go to Properties. We'll use the following address. We'll do 10.10.10.100 on this one. 255.255.255.0. Phone gateway of 10.10.10.2. Also do 10.10.10.10 as a preferred DNS, and 10.10.10.2 is our alternate DNS server. We'll close that. You can go to Control Panel Home and we can do System and Security. Windows Firewall, we're going to turn it off. And then let's go back to System. And here on the computer name, we're going to change the computer name to Client, and we'll do OK on that for now. That's all we'll change on that. And we'll go ahead and let that restart. Now I'm going to go back to the ADDC, and we're going to log back in. I'm going to go to Windows PowerShell. And we're going to ping 10.10.10.11. So that means we can get to our SQL server. We'll do for .12, which is our app server. 13, which is our... Oh, we did not do this one. And 100, which is our client. So from our ADDC, we can actually get to each of the machines that are on our network. So, in determining connectivity, that's what you're going to do to determine connectivity. So open PowerShell from your ADDC, and we're going to ping to each of the machines that are in your connected network. Okay, so that should do it for this video. And then on our very next video, now that we determine that we actually can connect to each machine, the next thing we'll be doing is going ahead and promoting our ADDC to the domain controller.